Well, hello. June 2nd, 12:14 a.m. on a Thursday. Um, I haven't done a live on my channel in a few days. I don't know exactly how long. How many days exactly, but it doesn't really matter. But I have an interest in talking about what we know, what we've learned, and who we've learned it about. Um, Anybody wants to come up here and be a part of the conversation, that would be perfectly all right. It's easier to talk than it is to chat in the chat room. As for what we know, well, that includes a lot of things. We know that the extent of the groups of people that are behind gang stalking and who add or point out what they call targeted individuals to their list to be blacklisted, shadow banned, harassed, character assassinated, defamed, shamed, whatever words you want to put on their label. We know that there are sites out there where they congregate, such as Kiwi Farms, Discord. They have groups on Facebook. Granted, they don't advertise them like let's say Google does. When Google advertises for people to be hired for gang stalking jobs, and we know you can Google that for yourself. I've done it right here on my show. We know V2K exists. We know they use it against us. We know that it's likely microwave based. It's reminiscent of what is called Audio Spotlight, which has been around since 1970s. We know they use Wi-Fi to a certain degree, cell towers, cell phones, and other devices for their tracking. We know that they use remote neural monitoring, which is through BCI, brain-computer interface technology, where they're able to connect to your nervous system, visual cortex, auditory nerves, and hear and see everything that you're doing or saying, or what you think about. They use this technology for dream manipulation to, in effect, manipulate your dreams while you're asleep. Um, they're able to cause what I term, some say holograms, but I say it's more like hallucinations, where they connect directly to your visual cortex and make things seem to appear to be there that aren't there. Uh, no, that's just some of the things. As for the voice to skull technology, V2K, they focus on a particular individual, which I'm a particular individual that they focus on with the V2K technology. Where now how they're able to continuously do this 24/7. I'm not absolutely sure how they're doing that, whether it's uh, through a algorithm or repetitious recorded crap. Yeah, hi Virginia, how are you doing? But we know that their intent is to harm the individual in whatever way they can, through whatever means they can, through long-term attacks to kill the individual, to either maim them, get them incarcerated, uh, institutionalized, whatever, what have you, but basically to remove them from the equation, sort of, to disgrace you, degrade you, and other things. Hello, Mo Scott. How are you today? These are just things I know from doing research and experience. I do very little speculation. If I don't have some sort of concrete evidence to back it up, I'm not gonna dabble in that. I'm not gonna dabble in witchcraft, or I'm not gonna dabble in spirituality. I'm not gonna go any of that route. The technology may seem like magic. The things that they can do with it might seem like magic, or sort of something of that sort. But we know they recruit people close to you, in your neighborhood, in your life, or plant people there. We know that it's happening worldwide. These are general consensuses throughout the targeted individual community across the world. And yes, that is indeed their clandestine main goal, to eliminate the target, to eliminate you, to use you up, steal everything they can from you, physically, mentally, whatever, intellectual property, physical property, and in the end, to kill you, or make you an unviable human, whatever. to marginalize your credibility. That's one of their main tactics, is to frame you or set you up to look like you're crazy, or you're schizophrenic, or you're paranoid, or you're violent. Um, uh, oh, they had a video up recruiting by pledging to ball, huh? I haven't seen that. Yeah, that's something else I'm totally aware of, Virginia, about the dream manipulation. A regular dream, we'll say you have a dream, um, an actual dream. You generally don't recollect a lot of the particulars. You might, bits and pieces. But with the data dreams, or the data implant movies that I call them, that they use the brain computer interface with, they you can recollect them just like, let's say you've watched Star Wars the movie. You recollect it like as in a movie. It's it's very memorable. You can remember all the particulars. You can remember people, what you did, what was said, how everything went on. Unlike a dream where you don't generally recollect it's not going to stick in your head for weeks at a time. Like some of the manipulated dreams that they implant, you can remember for several months at a time. You can remember back, not like a dream, whereas you're going to forget it. You're going to forget everything about it except for bits and pieces that stand out for you. And the reason that is because they basically are putting it into the part of your brain where you store memories. Um, yeah, I and I understand. We all know that all of these situations, right? These experiences, all these attacks, all these harassments, the stalking, seem crazy to anyone looking at it from the outside that isn't in the know, or hasn't experienced it, or isn't part of it. Now, from the two sides, let's say the victim, which is the protagonist, and the antagonists, which are the harassers. From the protagonist's view, at the onset, okay, let's say there's two phases: the covert harassment, which generally they keep it hidden, and it's you don't know for sure what's going on, to the overt, where they don't hide. They don't hide that they're targeting you. They don't hide that they're playing the street theater, the directed conversations, unless you confront them. If you confront them, they're going to be, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. But they know what you're talking about. Those are the two types. Either covert, which is you're not supposed to know you're being targeted, to the overt, where they realize you already know you're a target, so they don't try to hide it from you anymore. They're blatant. Now, from the protagonist point of view, which is you, the target, the object of their affection, explaining this to anyone is like trying to explain nuclear physics to a chimpanzee. They're not going to understand. They're going to ignore you. And then most likely they're going to throw their shit at you. You know, how a monkey does in the zoo. Monkeys throw their shit at you at the zoo. From the antagonist's point of view, they know this. They know that everything you're going to say sounds fucking crazy. They know that. They know they have designed this program, this game, this script to demean your sensibility. Because it doesn't seem logical to anyone. A lot of the questions that you'll get from perps. Now let's go to the perps, which is the antagonist, part of the group, part of the targeters. You can generally identify them through certain ways they speak, certain phrases they use. Why would anybody target you? You're crazy. You're not important enough for that. Why would anybody target you? Why would anybody stalk you? You're not important enough. You're a narcissist because you think they're stalking you. You're paranoid because you think people are stalking you. These are things we know. These are things we know. Now, on another link in the chain, you have the availability of information. Researching this for yourself, you can find the information using keywords, phrases, to understand what's happening. Now you're going to have the shills. You're going to have the shills that that all they're going to think of is it's you with a mental illness. You're mentally ill or something's wrong with you, when they know it's not. And that's to that's to collaborate with the program. We know this. Everybody, all of us, we know this. All of us targets know this shit. We all know the same shit. But what some of us don't know is that these people don't care about your religion. They don't care about your race. They don't care about your family. They don't care about your sexual orientation. They don't care about any of that. And they also don't care about how they appear to others. They have no remorse. They have no compassion. They have no empathy. They have no sense of a moral compass. So they can say and do and act in any manner to suit their agenda. And their agenda is to ruin you. We all know this. I'm not saying anything that other targets don't know. But I'm not really saying this for targets as much as I'm saying it for people that aren't a target. Um, it's this is you know talking about the people I know myself personally that are targeting me, like my neighbor Rhonda, my neighbor Ian, my neighbor Gino, Colleen, Joe, Grace, Laura, Ron, Mike, John, all these people that are on YouTube, people that live in my neighborhood that through whatever means have become gang stalkers. Now, whether they were targeted and coerced through blackmail because the gang stalkers found something on them and scared them into saying, just like they've done to me, they've tried to say, join us and your targeting will cease. Help us and your targeting will cease. Um, it's understandable that some people would say, yeah, sure, so I can get this shit to stop happening. I'm not one of those people. Um, that's something else, Virginia. They already know where you live. They already know your name. They know where you work. They know your family. They know your friends. They know a lot about you. Regardless if you try to use a pseudonym on the internet, they know who you are. They know where you are. They know your address. They know what groceries you buy. They know when you take a shit. They know when you're asleep. They know all that. So, um, hiding, having, let's not say hiding, being anonymous on the internet with these people is not possible. It's not possible. So that is a lot of my tactic for dealing with my gang stalkers. I know who a lot of the people that are perpetrating the stalking and the harassment and the threats and whatever else are. Now, I'm not saying I know all of them. You know, I can't know the 5.9 million gang stalkers in the world. I can't know the 1.8 million targeted individuals who they're targeting in the world. And these are just rough numbers that I've came up with from general mathematics and calculations from just general, a little bit of research. Now, let's go into the subject of the groups. One that we're all aware of, Kiwi Farms. Um, I just went to their page once or twice. I went and looked at their page once or twice, and their about page right in the front says that it's a place where you can go to talk about eccentric people or what they call lolcows. Um, in other words, it's a place where they can go to slander and meet up and decide who they're going to harass, who they're going to stalk, who they're going to, who they are going to target. Um, Other avenues where they use things like this are Discord and WhatsApp. These are easily used in a private manner, that you have to be invited, you have to be a member to view the content. And once you are a member, the content, that they have is all available to you. But it also keeps it out of the mainstream, like, let's say, your YouTube channel. Now that leads me to another facet. YouTube channels that seem legit, that seem, like, they're doing their thing. Well, there is a code where where they will, uh, be speaking about a target, but they're not saying their name. It's either uh, an indescript object that they're talking about, or a person. But they're not going to actually, brand the name on what they're talking about, even though all the people that are involved know who they're talking about and what they're talking about. Hi, Tanya. How are you? How are you this fine morning? Well, that's just it, Virginia. Discord and WhatsApp are havens for hackers, and they're havens for stalkers. Now we can go into Facebook. What we know about Facebook, yeah, and Twitter, yeah, Facebook and Twitter. Also, havens for harassment. Havens for harassment and stalking. Now, Facebook makes it easy because you put your information out there. If your page is public, they can generally make a profile for you, of you. They can profile you from, where you went to school, where your job is, where you went, things like that, what you like to do, what your interests are. That also helps the gang stalkers. And the friending process also helps the gang stalkers. They'll make fake versions of you. They'll make fake versions of your family, friends. That's why you always see, oh, hey, don't answer that friend request, because that's a hacker that, is using my name and created a profile to try and get linked in with your friends. Well, I'm sorry to hear that you're sick, Tanya, with the flu. Just drink lots of fluid and eat chicken soup and orange juice. Stay hydrated. Get you some drugs, whatever, some medicine. And try to stay away from people. That's what you should do, for real. While you're sick, anyway. Going back to the topic, Twitter. Now, I had a Twitter account that I have since deactivated. That once my targeting went full blown, they were harassing me on it. hundreds of people that I was already, that through the chain of being linked to me through people targeting me were able to harass me through other people, right? Because this person followed me. Well, they'll tell two friends, they'll tell two friends, and so on, like the old Nair commercial. Or were, you know, able to harass me, and I deactivated that account. But that doesn't matter really, because it's over with. I mean, I don't really use Twitter that much anymore. I have an account, but I don't really use Twitter that much. Yeah, it okay. Now that's a pretty blanket statement that people suck, but when you're targeted, when you're when you are targeted, things will change for you. Like on social media, you will have the love bombs, where like on Facebook, uh, I'll say the honeypots. We know what the honeypots are, and by honeypots I mean, you know, people looking to hook up with you, and they're not looking to hook up with you because they want to be with you. They're looking to hook up with you so they can be part of the gang stalking group and fucking get close to you and harass you. Um, I have, I have women on Facebook that, if they're even really women, with abject profiles that have, really, really no profile, but they, as I've said before, if you want to add me on Facebook and you don't at least message me where I know you from, how I know you, whether I asked you to be my friend on Facebook, I'm not going to add you. Um, uh, if it's not mutually understood, I'm not going to add you. Not not because I want to be an asshole, but because I'm not going to add you. Um, I, I have like 1,200 people on Facebook. Um, a fair portion of them are my family. A fair portion. That's a lot of people. But yeah, I got a big family, and a lot of friends. But as for like just random, you get every day, you get someone that the people that just, you have a friend request, confirm or don't confirm. I'm not going to do it. I mean, um, generally because of the fake profiles and things like that, and the harassment. I'm not going to do it. Yeah. Um, but let's move on with other things we know. We know that uh, the CIA, the FBI, government agencies, State Departments, Justice Departments are interested in Havana syndrome. Um, not for us, not for us people, not for me, not for you, but for diplomats and other people like that. Um, because if you report this stuff it just gets put under filed under T. They throw it in the garbage, and I don't even know if they even look at it. I don't think they listen to it. I don't think they even investigate it. Yet for the mainstream media, it's Havana syndrome. They're not going to use the term gang stalking. They're not going to use the term targeted individuals. Some news programs will, but the Justice Department isn't going to use that term. They're not going to use that term. They haven't ever used that term, even though that's what they know it is. It's Havana syndrome. But on that topic, their ability to perform these terrorist acts against diplomats, agents, people in power, public officials. We know that. They're just as capable of doing it to them as they are to us. If they wanted to do it to the president and all of his cabinet, they can do it. There is no stopping these people. Are they? I don't know. Possibly. It's likely. It's likely that they're doing it. But the only thing is, with people like that, they're not going to treat them like they do us. They're not going to be overt with it and under the assumption that they're above the law, that they can get away with it and do whatever the hell they want. Should they be targeting, the president's cabinet or Congress or the Senate? They're not gonna be V2K'ing them like they do me or whoever else they're doing it to, like where they're talking to you all the time, threatening you and harassing you. They're not going to do that to those people. They're just going to steal information from them in a clandestine fashion and not have a trail. Unlike general populace such as myself and you. That's not speculation. That's just common logic. They're not going to treat the powers that be like they do us. So, I don't really know if the conceit of these people is derived from, I don't know, just being narcissists and the fact that they've done it for so long and no one does anything about it, or if it's they get a kick out of it. I think a lot of it is they just get a kick out of being able to fuck people over indiscriminately. Men, women, children, old people, whoever they decide to target for whatever reason. These are just things that I know. As far as how they're able to do it under the radar like they do, I'm not so sure it's under the radar. And by that I mean I'm not so sure that a lot more liars don't know about it. A lot more people that have positions of authority will feign ignorance, which, cognitive dissonance, willful ignorance, or not. But I do know that the arrogance of it, I mean, just from my neighbors, their arrogance, the arrogance of what they've done and what they continue to do. Is disheartening. And I mean disheartening because I don't fear these people. I'm not afraid of what they can do to me anymore. I don't think I ever really was afraid of what they could do to me. But what the repercussions are for the rest of the world. Let's just say for hypothetical reasons, this is a powerful weapon. Any ability such as synthetic telepathy, the ability to access information directly from a human's mind without any protocols, any security, any ability to protect that information. And just what I'm getting at is, let's say you have access to sensitive information, national security type information. They can't protect that. And maybe that, in my opinion, this is one of the few times going to speculate, in my opinion, is why they meaning the powers that be, don't like to talk about this. For panic's sake. Kind of like the subject of UFOs and aliens. The panic factor and the inability to protect its citizens. That's what I'm getting at. They are not able to protect you, us, any of us, from this. There's no protection. That's the problem. That's why I'm sure it's talked about. I'm sure the CIA, FBI, NSA, DHS, whatever, whoever, are talking about it. But they're not going to say, yeah, we can't protect you from this. They're not going to say that. Well, I'm saying it. Because they can't. They haven't. They haven't been able to. They haven't been able to stop it. And when I see all these videos about Havana Syndrome, with them speaking about scientists baffled, agents baffled, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's baffled about the mystery. Well, I'm not baffled. Are you as a target? Are you baffled what's going on? I'm not fucking baffled. I know exactly what these shitheads are doing. I know how they're doing it. I know why they're doing it. And so do you. So what's their excuse, right? I just gave it to you. Panic. They don't want to instill fear in the populace. Well, you can't stop that. You can't stop that when it's happening to, like I said, 2 million people across the world at a minimum. And there's a group of 6 million or more people perpetrating it across the world. I'm not talking about the US. I'm not talking about UK. I'm not talking about, any particular country. I'm talking about these fuckers are everywhere. Like they're like maggots. They get into everything. And they're into everything. And we know that. You all know that. I'm not bullshitting you here. I'm not bullshitting you with this. If you're a target, you know that. They're fucking everywhere. They're like rats. They're in all sewer systems. Everybody's sewer system. So, long story short, that's what we know. Now where do we go? That's the big question. Where do we go from here? When you have Google letting these people advertise for gang stalkers in the numbers of the thousands. You too can stalk people for money. You can get hired to harass citizens, people. You can go there and put in your fucking application and be a gang stalker. Google it. Google it for your fucking self. Don't tell me it's not. That's something else I want to say. We know it's real. Don't fucking bullshit me and try and fucking piss down my back and tell me it's raining. This shit's real. It's happening. So, what do we do? What do you do? Well, in my personal situation, I choose to try and fight back every way I can. I don't. They say ignoring them helps. I'm not of that opinion either. Now, giving them the attention they desire, that's a different story. You as people of the internet, share this. Share this. Click that share. I don't ever say this. I don't ever say push that fucking thumbs up button. I don't ever say subscribe. I don't ever say share. But if you share anything off my page, share this video. This very one. I don't give a fuck where you share it. I don't care who you share it to. Share it. So, I'm a targeted individual. I have been a targeted individual for many years now. They've stole music from me. They've stole ideas from me. They've stole artwork from me. They've threatened me, my family, my friends. And if you're a target, they've done the same shit to you. And you know it. You know it. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know as a target. The problem is getting other fucking people to see it. So, unless somebody has a different topic they want me to just comment on, because that's what I'm doing. I'm going to end this live and bid you farewell and keep your head up and never give up and never give in to these gang stalker slime balls. I'll go back to a movie quote. Join me and we'll rule the galaxy as father and son. No, I'll never join you, Darth Vader. Fuck you, buddy. That's not really a quote, but yeah. No, not gonna go to the dark side. Ever. So enjoy the rest of your morning, Virginia, Tanya, Mo, and whoever else might have been in here. I don't see anybody else commenting, so just share it. If you feel like it, share it. Share it on, if you use any social media, share it on your Facebook, on your Twitter, whatever. All the other avenues, Patreon. I don't give a shit where you share it. Share it. And I will say this one more time. Everything I have on my channel regarding gang stalking, as far as the people I know are involved, the groups I know are involved, there are ways, facial recognition, voice stress analysis, to tell if someone's telling the truth. So if you have the ability to use those, I encourage you to try and debunk what I'm saying to you. So have a good night. Thanks.